Hey, it's Peter Voogd, and in this episode, I'm going to dive into the one tactic that will help you get rid of overwhelm that's made the biggest impact on my overall success the last 12 years. I'm also going to dive into the one thing, the biggest breakthrough I had from a $25,000 mastermind that I attended. You don't have to pay the 25 grand. You get it absolutely free. I'm going to dive into that tactic. And then my favorite exercise to gaining absolute clarity when it comes to your life and business. Hey, it's Peter Voogd, author of the best-selling book, 6 Months to Six Figures, and founder of the prestigious Game Changers Academy. And welcome to another episode of YEL 2.0. Whether you're watching on YouTube or online or on Facebook, or whether you're listening to this through the YEL podcast, I want to appreciate you. Thank you so much for subscribing. And we continue to try and give you the best possible content for you to level up your life and help you build a business on your terms. So thank you. Thank you for the reviews. Thank you for the messages. My favorite thing to see is people actually taking action, executing what we teach, and getting real results. Today is a very, very important episode. In 2008 and 9, I went through the biggest transition and frustration in my life where I pissed away all my savings. I went dead broke. And because I was taking too many opinions, because I was frustrated, because I was never in the right state of mind, because I was so insecure and frustrated with my current results, I went broke and I got rid of all my savings and I didn't have clarity. I didn't know what to do next. And I fast forward to 2011 with all the failures, finally getting a mentor, finally understanding the power of circle of influence. Of course, all the things we've already talked about that are in my book and all the other things. I finally started seeing success. Now, there's a certain level of success you get to where you start to see another level of overwhelm. It's funny, in success, you're never going to get rid of your problems. You just upgrade to a higher level problem, right? People that complain about a lot of little stuff don't have a big vision or big purpose or big problems to complain about. So between 2011 and 2012, I started seeing more money than I've ever seen before. A lot of people reaching out to me. Our office was growing. We had 150 sales reps, 14 or 15 employees, receptionists, assistant managers. And for the first time ever, I got what I wanted. I wanted success and I wanted income, but now I had a lot bigger expectations, a bigger team, more responsibility. And with that came more stress. And I reached out to my mentor at a point. It's interesting. You think when you get all this success, life is better. If you don't have the right guidance and the right mentorship and the right perspective and understanding of what success really is and what peace of mind is and what flexibility and autonomy is, it's just you're gonna have the same problems as when you're broke, just they won't be money. It'll still be the same emotional turmoil and frustration. So I didn't know what else to do. I reached out to my mentor. I was super overwhelmed. I had so much going on in my head. And by the way, I learned this as well. If you're watching or listening to this and you're a little bit overwhelmed, that's a good thing. It's part of greatness. All entrepreneurs, all achievers, all great parents, great teachers, speakers, philosophers, actors, authors, athletes, the people that reach for new heights and reach for big ambitions will be overwhelmed. But it's how you deal with it and how you respond that determines what happens next. Because what if you do, sorry, there's something in my eye. And I'm not going to stop it because I don't like stopping it. I like to be in the zone and be authentic. But I forgot what I was saying. By the way, guys, this is a huge key. Others' expectations, trying to be perfect. Perfection will kill you in business. Just give up the need to be liked and to be perfect, to be authentic and to be yourself. And just as an example, and just to use this as a learning lesson. If someone was like, oh, he just messed up. He did this with his eye and he actually didn't, he lost his train of thought and he didn't edit it to make it perfect. If that person never watched my stuff again and they held that against me, do you think I really want that person as someone following me anyways? No. So you got to realize if you're yourself, the right people will catch on and the right people will respect you for who you are. Anyways, it's out of my eye now, so I'm good. So when you're overwhelmed, if you what I was saying is, if you are crushing it in business and you finally have all your success, but you're stressed out and have no peace of mind and no lifestyle, you did it all wrong anyways. That's why it's important to continue to progress, become more successful, but understand how to delegate, leverage, and do these activities that I'm going to teach you. So the first activity that he taught me, there's 3 keys, okay? And I'll kind of go through each of these 3, and that's it. The first thing is you have to get deep to the issue of why you're overwhelmed. If you don't hit the root cause, it's going to keep happening. So this is why attacking the core issue right away is crucial before the tactics and strategies. So here are the most common that he went through with me at the time, because I was more overwhelmed than ever. And I knew it wasn't about just the money for me, because I remember I had my best week I ever had. And I'll just be honest, I made $20,000 in a week. Never forget that, 20 grand in 1 week back in the day. And I was like, that's the most money I've ever even seen in my life in a week. But I was also more stressed out because of all the responsibility. So I knew if it was just about money, I wouldn't care about the stress. I'd be happy. But I wasn't happy. I was so drained, right? So he said, figure out why you're so stressed out and overwhelmed in the first place. So here's a couple things. Saying yes too much. Trying to please people, right? Lack of action, or maybe your addiction to information and learning, but no execution. If you're always learning, you're not getting it out of your head, it's going to pile up and cause overwhelm. And when you're overwhelmed, you seek distraction subconsciously, right? Maybe it's number 3, Superman syndrome, and you feel like you have to do everything yourself. You're scared to delegate. You're scared to trust people. You're scared that people won't do as good a job as you. Or 4, maybe you don't have your priorities right. Maybe your values aren't mapped out. So which one is it? And he was challenging me like, which one is it? And I had to really think about it. I'm not going to dive into which one they were for me at the time, because this is not about me. This is about you. And you're listening or watching this because you want to level up in whatever area you're focused on right now, for your wife, for your kids, for your business, for your employees, for your fans, for your family, whatever. So which one is it? Figure out why you're overwhelmed first. Are you saying yes too much? Are you not taking enough action? Are you scared to delegate? Do you not have your priorities intact? I don't know. Okay. Second thing is, this is the game changer. This changed my life forever. And I now do this every couple months. And it causes me to get rid of overwhelm quickly. First, the second thing is get rid of everything in your head. I mean, everything on your mind, like literally map it out, like write everything out on paper. Like you want it to look like this, where there's just a ton of stuff, right? Everything that's on your mind, get it out of your head, like get it out and put it on paper. And I'll teach you kind of how to delegate, all right? Now, you have to understand most of those things won't matter a year from now. Most things won't even matter in a couple weeks, and they're just things that maybe are made up in your head, and maybe they involve pleasing others, I don't know. But there's 4 things that you want to figure out here, okay? 4. Number 1, there's 4 things that you want to do with this list. First, circle the things you can't change. What are the ones that you can't change that are going to happen regardless? They're either something that already happened or something you're stressed about that you have no control over, or something that's in your schedule that you already committed to that you can't change. That needs to be put on paper, and understand that you can't do nothing about that. So you have to physically and mentally tell yourself, I'm going to let that go. That's going to happen regardless. Regardless, right? Second thing is, what can you delegate or delete? So label them number 2 or whatever you want to do. I'm not going to give you the exact tips. I'm going to give you kind of the overall structure. First thing is, okay, I go through what I can't change. Second thing, what do I have to delegate or delete? What can I delegate? If someone can do something 80% as good as you, it's time to delegate and get rid of that. Do not be Superman. One of the biggest things that held me back at the beginning of my business ventures was me being Superman, right? Delegate or delete. And there's a lot of different ways you can do that. Third thing is schedule date. If these things have to, if 10 of these things have to actually get done, what you do is you put it in your schedule. Okay, this one is going to be done next Tuesday from 5 to 7 p.m. This one's going to be done 2 weeks from now, let's say March 10th, February 15th, April, whenever you're watching this, April 15th, no matter what. And then once you put all the dates in, now they're in your schedule, and what you get scheduled gets done. Now you don't got to worry about it. If you don't have them on paper, it's going to pile up in your head, right? Fourth thing is, take action right away. If it's 10 minutes or less, take action right away. Is it an email? Is it a text you have to send? Is something you have to get done? Just understand that once you systemize and organize these things, everything starts to get clear and you start to gain more clarity. So can't change, delegate or delete, schedule date, put it in your schedule, or take action right away. Or get rid of it, like it doesn't matter. It's not important. Then I have something called the 90% rule. I can't remember where I learned it from, but I've used it for a long time. When you look at a new opportunity, okay, you rank it 1 to 100 on how valuable and meaningful it is to you. If it isn't a 90 or above, don't do it. Your job is trying to fit everything in. Your job is spending money on the best things. Let me rephrase that. Your job's not to try to fit everything in your schedule. Your job's not to please everybody. You're trying to say yes to everybody to make them like you or to take on more. Your job is to spend energy on the best things that you have committed to, that you know are most relevant to your values, your vision, and your business. This is essential. So have a criteria for what you take on, right? That's a big key. So the second thing is get rid of everything in your head, delegate, delete, schedule it, or take action on it. And then the third thing that I learned is it's called a 90-day checkup, the Game Changers checkup, I call it. And I always write down, I usually, after I do the overwhelm activity, I usually write down my checkup. So this is super simple. I want to keep these episodes super tactical and relevant and comprehensive and short. I don't want to bore you guys. I know how valuable your time is. I respect your time at the highest level. That's why I decided to make these 12 to 20 minutes so you can just have a quick boost of action, energy, and clarity and go back to your grind, right? 90-day checkup. Your biggest lessons and perspective shifts from the previous 90 days. Top wins, proudest accomplishments. How did you add value to the marketplace and stay ahead of the competition? How did you stay adventurous and alive? What did you work on that was legacy focused? What new relationships did you build and nourish and take care of? And what relationships are you continuing to build that you already knew? Are you making sure that you're staying consistent in your value and in your communication with those relationships? And then for me, I always ask, what results am I measuring and how am I doing with measuring and with progress of those results, right? And then the last thing I do, this is something I learned at that $25,000 mastermind that totally changed my life. I get rid of stuff and I increase energy. So if you just figured out why you're overwhelmed, okay, and then you wrote down everything on paper, it's called the brain dump, and then you did the 90-day challenge and did this activity, you will feel 10 times better as an entrepreneur, as a human being. I don't care what you do, right? And this is something you can teach to people that are inspired by you. So every 90 days, everything, here's what I delete or delegate. Everything that others can do better than me, I get rid of it. Everything that drains my energy, that frustrates me, that is toxic or negative, I get rid of. And relationships that go nowhere. If I'm giving, or I'm babysitting somebody or telling them to keep taking action and they're not doing it, ambitious or entrepreneurs with no ambition, I can't work with them anymore. There's too many people that actually want to be successful. That's why we made our academy so selective when we started it in 2012, 2013, is there's too many talkers, as you guys know. So I get rid of relationships that go nowhere. At the same time, I increase 3 things. Everything that I permanently love, everything that produces growth, and everything that grows my confidence. Those are the 3 things I get rid of and 3 things I add. And this is something I want to share because I did it a couple days ago and I was like, I have to share this with my ambitious, loyal followers, fans, counterparts, partners, whatever I call you guys, my game changers. So what do you do to clear your mind? That's the question of the episode. What do you do to clear your mind and get rid of overwhelm? I'd love to hear below what you do to kind of simplify your business, to simplify your life so you stay focused on what matters. And once again, guys, this is so important to do this every 60 to 90 days. Like if you can figure out why you're overwhelmed and pinpoint that, and then you can get rid of everything in your head and delegate and delete and take action and understand most things won't matter. And then you ask yourself these tough questions to check up on yourself. It's such a competitive advantage over everyone else who's not doing this. So I hope you got some value. Continue. Let me know, by the way, any topics that you want me to cover that I've gone through. I'm not going to ever talk about something that I'm just reading online. I'm only going to talk about things that I've done, that I've seen results. I want to stay authentic that way to you, just because it's not fair to you that I'm just teaching theories. I'll let everyone else do that. But let me know below if there's any other activities. But please post the one thing that you do to clear your mind. I'm going to be in the comments commenting and engaging with you guys. So thanks again. checking out. I'm excited for the next episode. See you guys.